sleep at midnight, and I seen people on the same post, the same person going back and forth with every comment. Get a life, man. Y'all are broke. That is why y'all stay broke. Get a life. Find something to do with yourself. You just did me a favor by tapping in. Thank you.
So while this man is telling you guys that he's working with at-risk youth, he has his muscles out, letting his little pectorals jump up and down. If that had been a woman with her titties out, telling you she's going to be working with kids, you men would have came at her. You would have called her a hoe. You would have said, who would let this hoe around our kids? But you see this man talking about helping the community, and he wants to be half naked to do it. And y'all really believe him? Anyone that looks to the side, up and down, they're thinking of the next lie. He ain't going to do shit. He ain't helping no community. Put a shirt on and do better. You out here trying to look like a damn Strippendales. That ain't helping the community. Then you're talking about helping kids, and then you shake your packs like
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Belt. Quick one. Listen, we're going to be in here for about an hour, okay? I watched a 3-hour live by Queen Accountability on her channel called Celebrity D, and it was about, obviously, Aaron Weapon X, the abuser. Let me just say this now. It's about to get messy. She had about 15 to 16 to 18 to 20 receipts on this man being a liar, on this man being a gaslighter, on this man being an abuser, on this man being a rapist, on this man being physically abusive, a stalker, a thief, a robber, okay, a scammer, okay, a hobosexual, okay, hobo, okay, hobo is different, hobosexual, blood, yeah, meaning that man don't got no house, yeah, man got no house, okay, and he's a freaking predator. Yeah, he's a freaking predator. So for me now, I went and watched a 3-hour live for you so that I could break it down into about an hour or less. I'm going to cut it to the points that are very important. Now, there's a testimony. There's 3 women that came forward. One of them you've already seen who went viral before. The 2 other ladies, their accounts are very, very sad. I mean, let me tell you this now. When I say sad, it's horrible. There's one of the girls called Karma. Her particular account of what happened to her. This guy is an abuser, a rapist, okay? All right? And is dangerous. He's a monster. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear no black man defending this man. We don't defend that bullcrap. I'm so sorry. There is no, he was angry, he was drunk, he was sad. I don't want to hear it. He's an abuser. He's a monster. Okay, and I don't deal with people like that. I don't like that kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I held my tongue the last video. I kind of said, look, he had some issues, insecurity. Insecurity is still there. But to lead it to a place where you are abusive in this place, you are unrestrained, and you are somebody who's a danger to our community, and you're a goddamn liar, and you're across states. And I said to these guys last time, didn't I? I said, when I watched it, I said, it don't make no sense that he has things that are still open. Look. Him saying that, he hasn't done anything since the last 7 years, but the witnesses that are coming forward are in 2024. The last one we have is in 2024, March 2024 to April 2024. So I'm going to let the video play itself, okay? All right? So, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed, but I don't have any black men in this chat. Please don't come in here defending him, because the evidence is mountain, yeah? It's mountain. You get me? So I'm going to play it from, chronological order from the beginning to the end. I will cut it so you don't have the whole hour to watch as well, because there's a lot to get through, okay? So if you're here, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. I will say this as well, trigger warning. There will be a point where there'll be a trigger warning. I will put that across the screen so that you're also warned as well if you've been for anything abusive physically. I don't want you to be triggered and not be aware, so just be aware of that as well. But let me just say this now. I want to be very honest. This is why I said that what I saw on Pop the Balloon, I could not call it to be isolated, because you went on a whole YouTube video and showed not only your ass but your dangerous behaviors, and we intentionally focus on those behaviors because I said it was alarming to see any man get there, look a woman up and down, and then begin to try and break her down. When you see that kind of behavior, just know the abusive tactics are coming. If a man gonna stand there, look you up and down, and then intentionally pick faults with you, he is a danger, and he is a future abuser. And this is where we at. This is where we at. Okay, so buckle up. Okay, I've done the work for you. Shout out to, again, Queen of Accountability, Celebrity D, her channel as well, because she broke it all the way down, brought the receipts, and she brought it like a whole lawyer would do. Okay, so we gonna go there. I got my notes ready to take you all the way through the journey. I want to say this again. Why I said he's a predator is because he actually chooses women. Okay, he actually chooses a specific type of woman. He has a type. He likes Latino women, women that also are single mothers who have who are single mothers. He chooses single mothers who have a job, a house, a car, and a child, and he chooses them. He's a hobosexual, a scammer, and an abuser. Right? It just is what it is. Okay, so we're gonna go into it. We're gonna go into it, and we're gonna go into to the receipts that that was presented. Even the GoFundMe situation. Hey, yo, bro. Okay. Let's get into this, man, because it's some horrible stuff, man. It's some work. So we're gonna start basically. So the first receipt, and I want to put it across the screen so you guys can actually see it as well. So receipt number 1 is the club. And we're going to put that in there. So the club recently, if you remember seeing the video or the picture where he was in a club throwing money, he got kicked out of the club that day. Okay, so we're going to play the clip. You're going to see it. Let's play it. Let's get into it. Okay, there we go. Let's get this going.
But let me show y'all something else. This is something that no page did. This is why they call me the queen of accountability. Y'all gonna put some respect on my motherfucking name.
Hold on, before we go any further, I just realized I do apologize. Listen, if you're a Christian here, I know, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of foul language. They do swear a lot in it. I didn't have the time to go and edit the video and take out all the swear words. I'm so sorry. This is not for your children. So if your kids watch me, I do appreciate this is not the video for them. Just want to warn you ahead of time, okay? So if you've got kids in the room, it's got a little bit of swearing in, please. Probably don't want to play this video right now. You might want to put your headphones in or whatever as well, right? I do understand I have to hold myself accountable. I know that certain content that is, but I thought this is very important too. So again, if you have children, please want to let you know the content's going to have some swear words, some foul language, and some very strong themes, okay? I sound like a TV show, but it is honestly got some strong themes and some swearing in, okay? All right, cool. Let's get into this video.
And you're going to put some respect on MTR's name. So let me show y'all something else. Y'all remember this? He posted this screenshot. He said that his mother was a domestic violence survivor. She was beat to a bloody pulp. Everybody remembers the plumber.
So I want to read it for you quickly. If you can't see, I'm going to read it for you. It says, I'm livid because this is a picture of him in the club when he was about to throw the money. It's on his Instagram page at the time. It was a reel. His link is very handsome. I've been on his page. It is his page. And so he put up this post and it said, I'm livid because here they are 11.11 girls trying to paint a false narrative alleging I was pushing women after everything I have been going through lately. I don't want that lie being put out there. Now, this is very important. Okay? All right? He's livid because there's a false narrative apparently out there about him pushing a woman in the club. Pay attention to that. After everything I've been going through lately, I don't want the lie being put out there. We got 5,000 for anyone that can produce a video of me pushing a woman or getting aggressive with anyone. Truth be told, y'all can't bring me enough ones fast enough, and I working as a team, picking up my money and selling it back to me so I can throw it. We got the videos of the milk cartons full of ones. I didn't care, it's my birthday, but now this makes me want to do some more humanitarian work for women that are domestic violence victims, like my mother. As a kid, I used to watch my mum get beat to a bloody pulp, and I don't condone in abusing women. If you are willing to share your story, please DM me and let me know how I can assist you. I can't access the GoFundMe money. I'm spending my own money on this. Okay? All right? Now, this is really important, again, because I don't often call people narcs. I really don't. I stay away from that word. Okay? But there is probably a little bit. If you were to say on this one, I would say that, you know what, I couldn't put, and it's because of the way he's defending himself. He's a little bit slow to me. That's what I would say. I have to be honest with you. He's a little bit slow to me. Whenever I heard him speak, he sounded a bit slow. Because he can't even lie very well. So that tells me he's calculated but not calculated enough. He's not got the attributes or the smartness to do so. But what I would say is that he's dangerous, right? And so, yes. He notice how now he's using the narrative of a woman. He pushed a woman in the club, right? But now he's spinning the story to say, hey, my mother was abused. Hey, it could be true. No, it could be true. His mother could have been abused. It doesn't make no difference. But what he's going to use is he's going to emotionally manipulate the audience by trying to say, look, hey, look, I've been through this. I know how it feels. So what happens to a person's mind when they're not being critical is all they're hearing is the emotive story. My mother was abused. I went for my dad. I never want this to happen to a woman, da 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 da. And so what ends up happening is that you miss his actual behavior and you go towards his emotional manipulation where he tries to emotionally draw you in, almost like being in church and them trying to tell you that if you don't give your tithes and offerings whilst playing a beautiful keyboard behind it and you're getting seduced on that moment and they want you to give and they're forcing you to give, but they're telling you that if you don't give, God will punish you. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. It's that emotional manipulation that doesn't let you think about what's actually being sent to you. And so he does the exact same thing. This is how you know he's an abuser. And the fact that he uses women domestic violence when he's actually doing domestic violence is what is even more crazy. But it's actually I would say is a tactic of an abuser, almost using the very thing that he's been accused of and using it as I support those people, when in reality all he's doing is deflecting and trying to take your eye off the actual truth of what's actually happening. This manipulation is very dark and it's very dangerous. Okay, all right, so I just want to call that out. Let's play a little bit more.
We're in the club, right, in Scottsdale, Rick Ross, balling out. In this caption, he clearly said that he wanted to do humanitarian work and he wanted to give back to domestic violence survivors. I'm a survivor. There's a lot of survivors in the world. Oh, isn't that sweet of the plumber? He wanted to give back. But he told you guys that he got kicked out of the club because he was accused of pushing women and acting a damn fool. He even said that Rick Ross was jealous of him, which I don't believe. If y'all believe that, then y'all really some idiots. But he told you guys that story, that he got kicked out because of that. And he'll pay you guys $5,000 if you can produce a video. Well, plumber, I can't produce a video, but I can produce a phone call. Check this out.
So he didn't even get kicked out to the end of the night. It was like 1:45.
Okay, and so you guys were able to file a report on him for pushing people?
No, because he left.
Okay. Yes, I can. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. I know business first. I just wanted to make you aware that Aaron Sloan was saying that you guys kicked him out because of his popularity, and he said that.
Well, he said Rick Ross kicked him out. Then he said we did it. He's been all over the place. Nobody pays that guy no attention.
Have you seen him there before?
No, he's never been in the club before.
Okay, so the woman that said that he shoved her, he did shove her, and that's what got him kicked out, not him having money in the club.
No. So there's two things. He took off his shirt, which is a direct violation for anybody. It won't matter who you are.
Right.
You can't take off the shirt. So yeah, that's what that was about.
Okay, but as far as the pushing and shoving, you said he was doing that?
That's what we got reports of. I answered that already.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
We got reports of that.
No, I definitely understand. I just wanted to make sure you knew and you were aware that he was saying.
So the day that he got kicked out of the club, that club that he was throwing monies at, actually he was kicked out because he was pushing another woman, and obviously that led to him being kicked out of the club, plus him taking his shirt off as well, right? And then he also said about how Rick Ross was jealous of him. Okay, well, let's play that.
For me in my bio is because somebody in the comments stated that they would like to help. If you would like to help, you're not only helping me, but you're helping children as well. When I go to this center and start advocating with them, if I could get, if I could get permission from the parents to have them on camera and speak about, some of the things that we're doing and we've been doing and working on, then I will certainly do that for you as well.
Y'all, don't got your glasses on. This is the post that he made. You not qualified said. He's mad. He tried to transfer that money into his account on his birthday and couldn't get the money. It said your transfers have been paused until we can verify your lies. Because that's what they are, lies. And then he says, black man can't celebrate his birthday now? How you gonna tell me how to spend my money? Because you told the world it was for your humanitarian work, not your birthday, not to throw money. How many lies, guys, are y'all gonna accept before you actually see that I'm not out here to hurt people? This man is a fucking liar. That GoFundMe money was for his birthday. But you guys really think he was gonna give it to domestic violence victims that night when he was too busy pushing them?
So this is obviously receipt number 2. Okay, this is a GoFundMe scam. And in this situation, what's actually happened is he posted up a picture on his page. And just the thing about, the Bible, you see, I always tell you this, that the devil is the greatest villain of any movie story. Like whenever you see a villain in a movie, they always tell you how the end is going to happen. They always tell you, I'm going to plan to bring the world down. I'm going to plan to do this. That's what villains do. Do you know why? Because they're narcissistic and they need a stage and a platform to show you their greatness. Okay, so whenever somebody gets, and look, if you're somebody who's ever dealt with the ego before, you've dealt with your own pride or your own arrogance, we all do it, right? Like you get so arrogant, you wanna be applauded for your madness. There's a level to that. There's a narcissistic level where when you're doing evil acts, this is why serial killers get into a place where they wanna get to a point where they actually where they get to a place where they wanna be able to showcase what they do. And so they have to tell you what they're doing next. They leave a calling card, a mark card. Well, unfortunately, this brother here has shown us again what villains actually do. And so now you're seeing this whole situation. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit. He puts a picture up of the GoFundMe situation. So this is the GoFundMe. He tried to transfer the money out. He could not transfer the money out of his GoFundMe. Remember, the GoFundMe was for humanitarian work. The GoFundMe was for helping victims of veterans and domestic violence victims and all that kind of stuff, right? It wasn't for him to spend the money. It wasn't a private amount paid to him so that he can go and spend it on whatever he wants. But yet the caption that he puts underneath his photo says, a black man can't celebrate his birthday now. How you gonna tell me how to spend my money? Now, how are you putting my money when it comes to the particular GoFundMe? The GoFundMe was not for you personally. So why are you asking why can't you spend your money? It's not your money. It was money spent, that's money been sent to you specifically earmarked for you to do the humanitarian work. You are a scammer and you are a liar and you are an actor. Okay, what I'm saying to you. Okay? All right? You're an actor, you're a scammer, you're a liar. Okay? All right? But it's going to get worse before it gets better. Okay? We're going to go to our next one. Okay?
Paper, you love him. He's your God. Your God lied. Let me show you guys how this man loves to steal other people's work. Oh, look at the plumber. Look at him promoting doing this kind of fixture. Oh, look at this handyman. Isn't this nice? That looks like a good job too, guys. I mean, I'm not a plumber, but that looks like he did a good job. That looks good. Good job, plumber. Oh, that looks just like, wait, hold on. Something ain't right. Let me get my glasses. That looks just like the plumber's picture. Bro, you sold this from a company in Philadelphia, and I let him know that you a thief too. This ain't gonna work, bruh. Yeah, you out here really, man. Why you lying, bruh? You know how to do plumbing. You got a journey license. So why you gotta steal other people's work? Use them pictures of you in that ditch with that cowboy hat on. You out here stealing, bro. But people will say that this is a lie too, right? See, people love to believe what they see. No one cares about investigating anymore. Y'all just want to blame someone and say that they're trying to destroy the black community. Guys, when people steal from people, I get angry because we all know somebody in our family that's a vet, a single mother, single father, disabled. And there's people that really could use this man's services. Now, I'm not going to front. He might be good at what he does. But when you steal somebody else's work, it makes me look at you different. That's like me saying I know how to braid and I'm stealing from somebody else that came up and worked their ass off to get to where they are. But I'm using their work to promote it. That's just like the Craigslist stuff that he did. When he said, oh, I got something for sale, and then you rob somebody. What happens when somebody wants what you took a picture of, but it isn't yours? And you can't do it just like that. And even if you do that type of work, take a picture of your own work. Don't steal, plumber. When you steal like that, people look at you sideways, bro. I'm showing you guys how this person is a fraud. When I say fraud, I have receipts. He's a thief. And that person wasn't too happy when they saw their work on his ad. But you want to sue somebody, right? Sue yourself. But y'all still don't like me. I get that. Y'all mad that I exposed your God. I come with receipts. So how dare any of you guys ever question me and my work? I work very hard to come to the conclusion that people lie. And I will never believe anybody's story until I get more information. I took my time with this one, you guys, because I don't like when people lie. It really, really hurts my feelings when people in our community feel like this is the way to make it. This plumber has many talents. He takes care of his health. He's in good shape. You could be a fitness instructor. You could have took that you're not qualified and went global with it. But instead, you wanted to deceive people. It's sad when y'all have such God-given talents, but you use the ones that the devil thinks that you have. The scamming, the fraud, the lying. Guys, if he'll lie about all this stuff, what else would he lie about? I mean, is he going to give me $5,000 for exposing him for lying? No, because he wanted the video, right? Audio won't work. But you guys are welcome to call that club. They don't want him back. He's never welcome back. And that's what happens when you act a damn fool. I also want to let you know, Palmer, you still owe $5,000 in Oklahoma. Why are you stalling? You got all this money. You could pull $100,000 out the bank, but you ain't paid your dues. Is that why you're avoiding going to Oklahoma? Are you avoiding your obligations? Y'all are also supporting a man that doesn't even want to accept that he's a father. How y'all going to sit here and cape for a man that said he may have a kid? If I have a kid, summons me, and I will play that too. I need you guys to
Look, it's not looking good. Okay, all right. You owe £5,000 in another state. You know, you're taking on, people's work and lying about it. You know, it's not looking good, bro. But we kind of knew this was coming, right? No, we kind of knew this was coming. Like, this is why, like I said, this behavior, like I said, somebody who has 100K in the bank doesn't need to say, I got 100K in the bank. Can you pull out 100K in the bank? Whenever you start saying that, can you pull out 10 racks in the bank? Whenever you start saying that, we know already that you yourself haven't probably got that money in the bank, because people that got money in the bank don't talk about the money in the bank. You know what I'm saying to you? If you got money in the bank, you don't need to talk about the money in the bank. So when he started saying that on the show, that told me all I need to know, because he knows that how, of course, we know women and men and what attracts them. So money is security, it's freedom. It is attractive to women. We know this already, right? But he was trying to use that as a way of saying, but can you put 100K in the bank? Trying to go toe to toe with the other woman. And in reality, trying to also attract another woman. And then getting pissed off when that woman ends up being a gold digger, when you use the money to try and attract the gold digger. You can't be complaining about the gold digger when you use the money to attract her. She's simply responding to the marketing you put out there. You getting vexed because you put an ad out for a job. Someone applies for the job. Oh, you a job digger. How am I a job digger when you put the job on market and I apply for the job? Can't call someone a gold digger when you've put your finances up on show and the person decides to come for the money. Can't do that. You know what I mean? I can't back you on that. Now, I want to put my first, it's going to get techie. So I want to say this. I'm going to put a little trigger warning for you guys, okay? Just a little trigger warning because this is going to be important. Just a little trigger warning because it's going to be about, it's going to be a little bit heavy. So just victim number one is a bit heavy, okay? All right, so we're going to get into it, but I just want you to be triggered warning. It's going to be some abuse conversation talk, but it's very important because her story, one of the stories, is very powerful as well, okay?
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Trust no one. I want to say again, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me your time. You could have gave it to any other page bigger than me. But I want to say thank you guys so much for giving me your time. And when you are ready, they're ready to hear you, hon. Go ahead.
So I dated the plumber last year from June 26th of 2023 through August 18th of 2023. We met on a dating website, and he's a very good talker. I will give him that. We dated, we hit things off. There was a lot of red flags as far as him wanting to track locations. He never really held a steady job at all. And I was the one that would work every single day. And I was the one basically like helping him. He never had no money to ever pay any bills, rent, none of that. He would constantly complain at these jobs that he would attend that either, employees were treating him badly or he pulled a racism card. So then it was the first reaction is, oh, let me go file a complaint with the EEOC. And then he would constantly post as if it's a flex to constantly sue his employers. Now, throughout this time of me dating him, he would constantly accuse me of cheating. He would constantly come up to my job. Even my coworkers thought it was a little bit weird. He would constantly want to drive my vehicle because his vehicle that he drives is an older style vehicle that does not have AC. It is an older car that, I mean, all of the victims that I have spoke with as well, we all have our own homes, we have a good job, and we all drive nice cars, and we're all single mothers. So I don't know if that's what he targets or that's the specific type that he goes for, but
So before she goes any further, that's the predatory behavior I'm talking about, right? intentionally targets Latino women who are single mothers, who have their own job, have their own car, have their own house. He is like the devil. Can't lie to you. I don't even say that lightly, because he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Because all those women in the story have the same story. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He starts to steal your items, steal your possessions. He comes in to destroy your home and destroy your job. Okay, all right. And then he finally wants to suffocate you till the only thing you can see is him. He's a devil. I'm just sorry. Until he gets replenished and he gets restored and he gives his life over to the Jesus. Until he gets himself restored and refreshed and renewed. They are new every morning. He's a devil. Because the way that he comes in to still kill, destroy. There are people who play games who want to cheat on women and they destroy women. But they don't destroy your finances. They don't destroy your livelihood. There are some men like that, right? There are men that cheat like that. But there are men who actually are narcissistic in the sense of they want to destroy you. He is that guy. Because how he starts off by doing is by suffocating you in your livelihood, right? Not physically, in your livelihood. And then he begins to accuse you of cheating or whatever, and throws you in this emotional storm of you trying to prove that you're not a cheater. And then that's how the mind games start. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Yeah, they were red flags. These were not yellow flags. They were super red flags. And every lady said the same thing. Red flags all the way. But that somehow, yeah. It's, yeah. Okay.
I am also a Hispanic single mother. I'm the oldest of all of the victims that I've spoke with. I'm 37. He lied about his age as well. There had been a couple instances where he had accused my son of stealing a blunt wrap, went berserk and just started to go off. Like his whole demeanor changed. And just all in all, within these 2 months, that not even a solid 2 months that I dated the plumber, I lost my job because of him. He vandalized my vehicle 4 different times. I had to file restraining orders. I have probably more than 15 to 20 police reports with the local police department for harassment. He broke into my home, vandalized my whole home. It's about $10,000 worth of damage that he did to my vehicle. To my home. My vehicle as well. It was vandalized 4 different times on separate occasions from October to December. I've made numerous reports. It didn't stop. He was texting me from a Text Now app because I had met his father on August 18th, and this is where everything went left. When I went to go meet his father, I started to notice he's a very lightweight drinker. So upon me going to meet his dad, I started to notice that there was a difference in even how he spoke. He wasn't the same person around his father versus when it was just me and him. So that night, even his father kept bringing up, well, how would you feel if A2 did this? How would you feel if A? And I kept questioning myself, like, who is A2? And then his father had went on to let me know, oh yeah, he didn't tell you he has a son. And I'm sitting there questioning myself because he came in the relationship knowing that I have a son. Now, mind you, my son is 13 years old. He knew that me and my son's father did not talk, and I provide for my son, and I have my son 24/7. So for me to be with someone who is not taking care of their responsibilities makes me look like a hypocrite. And myself, just in my own opinion, every lady probably has a different opinion. I can't be with a guy who is not going to provide for their own child, because that's the whole reason why me and my son's father don't talk, is because he does not provide for my son. I have to do everything myself. Now, after this had happened and I found out that he had a kid, he then went on to say that it could be his father's or his. Now, if that's the case, whatever, that's not my business. I was mad at the fact that he had a kid in general, because
Negro, what? I don't even think I heard that the first time. Wait, I didn't even hear that the first time. I need you to understand. Did you hear what she just said? No. Let me just play that again. I don't think we heard that. Let me just
provide for my son. I have to do everything myself. Now, after this had happened and I found out that he had a kid, he then went on to say that it could be his father's or his. Now, if that's the case, whatever. That's not my business. I was mad at the fact that he had a kid in general, because why would you lie to me about that?
Absolute flag on the play. Flag on the play. Let's bring that back. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. We need to rewind once more. Flag on the play. We're gonna rewind that because that needs a rewind. A flag on the play. Technical foul. We had some information that we weren't ready for. Just want to replay it again. Just want to reload it again. We just want to be able to, want to be able to just, you know what I mean? Just reload that again once more. Cause I think I heard what I heard, but I may be high and I don't smoke. But let me just play it one more time. Let's just play it one time.
Provide for my son. I have to do everything myself. Now, after this had happened and I found out that he had a kid, he then went on to say that it could be his father's or his. Now, if that's the case, whatever, that's not my business. I was mad.
Sis, that's not your business, but that's our business. How is that not your business? Sis, no. How is that not your business? Okay, some of these ladies are red flags themselves. How is it not your business? If you are dating someone and then you find out, well, first and foremost, you find out he has a kid. That was already your problem. But number two, you find out that he's telling you he doesn't know if the kid is his or his father's. That's most certainly your business. That is most certainly your business, sister. Okay, I don't care if you're black, Latina, blue, yellow, beechwood. Okay, all right. I don't care if you're as white as the sky. Baby, this is definitely your problem. Right? Because you just found out, one, he was lying to you about having a child, but two, the brother's telling you he doesn't know if it's his or his father's. Woo, baby. You know what? I heard it the first time, but I didn't hear it the first time. But let me let her again continue because, boy, Jesus
Mad at
God.
the fact that he had a kid in general, because why would you lie to me about that? That's just something I didn't like. He would always get mad, and the same with one of the victims. When he would be at the gym, he would tell me, oh, I know when you're in the bathroom, I know when you're in the kitchen, because I'm able to see like your location from there. When I would be at work, he would constantly tell me, how come your location never moves? Now, mind you, in my role that I played in my employer, I had an office, the restroom is right next to it.
This is very similar to the story that the other woman told that went viral, right? She spoke about her story and said, oh, the fact that he was following her and he tracked her. So he's got a pattern of behavior, right? He's got a pattern of behavior. It's very recent. This is scary. This is why I'm saying that he was scary to me, right? To see him on Pop the Balloon was very scary to me, to see how he would look somebody up and down and then cuss them out. That for me was very scary to me, that he would still be disrespectful to a woman who was very polite in her rejection. It was scary to me. But this level of scariness is absolutely mad. Right? This level of madness is crazy. I'm sorry, we can't defend this black man. Yeah, we can't. Don't put him in jail, put him underneath it. You know what I mean? Like, don't put him in jail, put him underneath it. Because at this point, the jail cells are not going to be enough. Put him underneath it. And I don't mean he should die either. I just mean that figuratively speaking. Yeah? Because that's nuts. Let me fast forward it a little bit because, like I said, I don't want to go the whole way through. Let me go to... Actually... let me go a little bit further along because the story is a lot. So
give him his space. He had knew I didn't want to date him anymore. Now, mind you, I go home, grab my son, grab my dog, and we leave. And by that time, he's calling my son. So my son doesn't know, obviously, that my phone is stolen. So he picks up the phone automatically and he's thinking like, hey, mom, like, are you almost home? And he notices that it's the plumber. And so I'm having to pull over in this area where I'm at because I don't know how to get out of there. And it's a ghetto neighborhood. So I'm pulling over and I'm rolling down my window and I'm asking everybody like, hey, how do I get out of here? Like, how do I get back to the freeway? And I'm nervous too because the neighborhood is not a good area. Like it has a lot of, drug addicts around there. That area is no way down. You're going to take a left. And then once you take that left, you'll get onto a main on him coming back to my house. So I go to stay at a hotel. At this time, he is still texting my son's phone back to back. And it's almost 3 a.m. by the time that we get checked in. Then by the time we get checked into the hotel.
we see the levels that he's willing to go to, though. No, he's texting her son. Okay, of course, the son has got the phone. Basically, he stole this. He stole this. When I say the story is wild, okay, so you know the girl that went viral, right? The girl that got. Hold on, you just can't make this. You can't make this up. Okay, you can't make this up. I shouldn't laugh, but it's. I'm laughing out of nervousness. Look, you can't make this up, and I'll tell you why you can't make this up, right? The phone that he uses to track the woman in the viral video is the phone he stole from this woman in this conversation right now. You can't make it up. You can't make the phone that he uses to track the woman in the next the phone that he uses to track the woman that went viral, okay, all right, that went viral is the same phone he stole from this very first woman, the victim number one. That's her phone. He stole that phone and used it to track the. You can't make this one up. You can't make this one up.
Tell he literally texts my son's phone and he's like, "Oh, you guys decided to stay, at XYZ hotel." And I'm like, "How would he know that? Like, does he have like a GPS tracker on my car? Because obviously he has my phone, so there's no later, and that will be that." In my head, okay, yes, he got a little irate yesterday, but I didn't know the severity and what he was capable of. So then we check out and he's like like, "I need that duffel bag, I need that duffel bag." And I'm sitting there like, I don't want anything to do with this duffel bag. I don't know what this duffel bag has in it. But he also did state that like that his fingerprints are on it. Literally everything is damaged. We walk.
Okay, now it's gonna get mad. Okay, this part of the story is mad. Can't lie to you. This part of the story is mad. He breaks into her house, and yeah, just pay attention to what happens. He breaks into her house and steals everything in the house, and then pisses on everything too. Like it's just like there's madness and there's madness. Like still kill and destroy is what I'm talking about. This is why I said don't bother putting him in jail. Put him underneath it. Okay, don't bother putting him in the jail. Put him underneath it, because at this point there ain't no point putting him in the jail. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Into my son's room. He stole my son's Xbox. He stole my son's monitor, stole my son's Cash App card, stole all of his colognes. My door had been broken down. He stole all of my shoes, all my perfumes, all my lotions, everything that basically had value. I had a TV mount that is like movable. I'm assuming they couldn't get my TV off of the mount because they tipped it forward and then like shattered my screen. Now, when they're doing this, I knew that he had brought other people because I had followed back once before we went to the hotel, and it just so happened that he had had his dad with him and another person. And then there's a white van. Well, on my Ring camera, my friend happens to show up around midnight because she knew that something was wrong. Now, I don't have my phone, so I don't have a way to contact nobody. She ends up on my Ring camera, and my son has access to my Ring camera, so he's already looking, and he's like, "Mom, like, um, again, we're having to wait for the officer to get out here." The officer gets out here. He literally sees all the damage that's done. My house is not livable at this point. He cuts my garbage disposal in my kitchen. He cuts one of like I guess you would call it like a tube in the master bathroom. We have two bathrooms and it's 3 bedrooms. He cut the tube so the water in my master bathroom would just drain onto everything. So everything was messed up. So like, and then he ended up leaving my shower water running in my master bathroom. He pulled the internet cord from my son's room, so we didn't have internet. He stole or damaged all of our TVs in my spare bedroom. Everything was messed up. The washer and dryer had been cut, so we weren't able to do any laundry. They urinated on all of my stuff. The 10 to 15 outfits that he left. Now, mind you, I have a big walk-in closet. He and the other people that were in my home, they urinated on my Cow King mattress. They urinated all over my clothes. They put laundry detergent in my dog's food. They ended up urinating on my couch. Everything, like everything that you can think of, you know, how your house can be livable was all damaged.
Hey, trust no one. Trust no one.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Take one break. I just wanted to say something. You guys, I opened the chat not for her to be disrespectful. So if you come on this podcast running your mouth, you will be banned.
Anyway. Like I said, it's a bit madness. I can't lie to you. It is wild. Man's moving like it's Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah? Man's acting like it's Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. It is a song, my guy. Okay? Whoa, the damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving. That is to do with Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake. That's got nothing to do with real life, my friend. But you out here pissing on people's whole freaking houses. Yeah, you're nasty, you're perverse, you're disgusting. The act is disgusting.
Okay. That's okay.
Forgive me for that. I got real mad, girl, because I ain't got no time for that. Okay. It is. I know I put it in here. Okay, here we go. You can still talk while it's going. I
So
believe. Yeah.
this is the master bedroom. So this is the TV that he took off of my spare bedroom. Now this is my spare. I mean, this is the master bathroom, which I keep full of expensive perfumes. That's his blood still on my mirror that I cannot get off. If anybody has a remedy or a way to get blood off, this is the damage. He cut my tubing. He stole everything from underneath there. Literally Febreze. That's how petty he was. He stole my Febrezes. He stole all of my cleaning products. And yes, he was posting me on TikTok. This is after I filed the restraining order. So yes, there were.
So just to read the what it says on there, it says, I've reported these videos, and this is September the 6th. And it says, I've reported these videos and posts multiple times. This is a violation of the restraining order I have against this guy. I've also reported it to the local PD, and they also advised me contacting you guys to have this taken down, as a warrant will be issued to this user. He's had 15k viewers on these posts. How are they not harassment and bullying? Read the comments. My family has even reported the videos and nothing's happening. They are violating me. This is harassment. September the 6th, 10:33. I've had him blocked, but sadly his page is public, so I even have family and friends reaching out to me about these posts and videos. I did not give permission for this individual to post my picture or anything about me as well.
I did take all the proper steps. I was filing and telling them, hey, like,
And
I need
hold on,
these videos.
guys. If you're looking at the photos at the end of this video, you will see a plethora of police reports. I called every one of those
There's my
cars and
restraining
verified.
order.
Hold on, honey. I called everyone, and there's the police report right there. So all the
That's the
idiots who think
restraining
he's lying,
order.
the
Yeah.
restraining order, and then I think the police reports come at the end, all the cards and police numbers and all that.
Yes.
And this was the email about your garbage disposal that he took apart.
Correct.
Because he's a plumber, so I know you didn't do it, but okay.
Yeah.
And hold on, honey. And then what is this?
So I was
You have
in
to talk
anxiety
fast.
classes, and when this happened, my anxiety just happened to trigger way worse because my social anxiety got very bad to the point where I could not leave my house because I was so paranoid because he was
And there are the police guys. Hold on, honey.
And that's
Bam.
not even all of them.
I know that's not all. I wanted to give them at least 7. I think 7 examples should be enough for these idiots, right? Because a lot of them don't believe you. I think that's 7 examples right there for you guys. So all those people that doubted this woman, please give her an apology. There's 7 examples. Do you honestly think the plumber is going to come back out there when he knows what's on him? Go ahead, boo. We got him.
Yeah.
Go ahead, boo.
So after all of this stuff being stolen, there was multiple police reports. I did take the proper steps. I did speak with like legal advisors as to what I should do because it was not only my home that was vandalized, he also vandalized my car. And what's sad is because upon him stealing my phone, he had access to my banking information, my Amazon, and my DoorDash. Now, when he accessed my phone, he ran up my bank over $3,000. He tried to DoorDash alcohol in the amount of $197 3 times. So I logged in from my son's phone and I was like, why can't we order food? It was declining my card and the money was on there. And I kept saying, like, why is it not letting us order food? So that was like a red flag, but I didn't think anything of it because at this time we're still at the hotel. And so the next day.
So just in case you lost, he stole her phone, and her phone had she's logged into like all these things like DoorDash and this and that and that. So he just started going on her accounts and just ordering stuff. That's why he has her banking details as well. You know what I mean? So he didn't have her banking details. she's logged into certain things, so he was able to then use, like for instance, if you got like if you're on like I got Uber Eats, right? So if I got Uber Eats, you don't have to type in your PIN. You know what I mean? It's already got your details on there. He started ordering stuff through your phone. Like if you got access to my phone, or you got password of my phone, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I don't know how he got her password to the phone, but he stole her phone in it. So
I'm starting to realize, everything coming together. It's him. He was gaining access, and you guys will see how that notification living room. I had to install a high grade, expensive security voice home system that has sensors on every single window, every single door. I have more than 10 cameras installed all around my house, all around my car, around every single place in my home. So as soon as a sensor is messed with, by my car or anything, all I have to do is get a notification. If I think that it is suspicious, I push.
all right, we're gonna go to victim number 3. Number 2, you've already heard her story already, so you kind of already know her. You already kind of know her, but my time is almost going away from me, and I've got to try and stay within time frames these days because I've got a lot of work to do. So victim number 3, I want to put this trigger warning. It's worse than number 1. Number 1 was more about him robbing her house, etc. This person here, can I just say, listen, this one here, okay, I want to be very honest with you. Victim number 3, it's worse. Now, if you've been for any physical, sexual, emotional abuse, and maybe it's very difficult, I would advise you maybe not to watch this part of the thing because, yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse. Yeah? It does get worse. Can't lie to you. So, just want to warn you ahead of time. Want to make it very honest as well because I think this is... it can be very triggering, so just to put that across to you guys. All right, so I'm gonna just speed it up to the next part, which I think is important. We're gonna play this part here, okay, because there's a lot that happens.
Me. So anti-hyena, get them the fuck out of here. Do your best. Do your best. No pressure. Go ahead, boo.
So me and the plumber met started talking, in March, and up until April, it's a short period of time, I know.
Okay, hold on, Karma. Can you talk a little bit louder because you're talking low? And you said you were talking to the plumber from March to April of this year, correct? 2024, right? Because people think we're talking about the past. Was it this year?
Yes, March 2024.
Okay.
To April 2024. It is a short period of time. It's ridiculous, but we met online. The plumber wanted to meet me very quickly, and I mean, I did too. We were very connected. Conversations were good. I didn't know who this man was, who he really was. So I just want to say, if I knew everything that I knew now, I wouldn't put myself in his path in the way that it went. So I just wanted to get that out the way. A lot of people, you don't really know who people really are until you actually get to see their true colors in person. So and just like how these other two ladies were, and just like how everybody else is around the world.
Hey, Karma, you cut out.
Different states.
Karma,
Do you agree?
I think
Yeah.
Karma, can you hear me? You cut out.
He is a light drinker, as in Trust No One had said earlier. And he had mentioned this to me as well in our conversations, that he's a very light drinker. So he was drinking ahead of me. When it got close to around 6, 7, and this is on a weekend, on a Saturday, how you guys like to get ready, good to go out. We agreed we're going to go out, have some drinks, go see a movie. That's what we did. Before we did that, went to the liquor store, got some drinks. He's drank them all. We're at the hotel where we met up. I had to take a couple shots myself. Like I said, he's ahead of me. We're getting ready, and we go to this bar and grill because we had agreed that up until a certain time we're gonna go see a movie. But while we're at the bar and grill, we're drinking, eating. He starts kind of like, showing out. Of course, like why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you when you go out? Okay, that's fine. But I just thought it was kind of weird. He kept kind of saying like, kind of worried about the prices and stuff like that. When beforehand he would brag to me how much money he had, that he has all this money in the bank, all this money in the wallet, and how the way he gets his money. He did tell me that he sues people, he sues companies. That's how he gets his money. He goes to different companies. He doesn't last there for long. He starts driving in my car recklessly. He starts I can get a ticket, and then you can get a ticket, and on top of it, my vehicle's damaged because you don't know how to drive. So this makes me mad. This would make anybody else mad. So I'm telling him I can drive. He tells me no. I'm like, fine, but I'm telling him, please drive right. He starts yelling at me, telling me that he never let no women talk to him that way. And I'm getting mad, and I respond like, so you're getting mad at me because I'm trying to look out for both of us. So we finally get to the location where my friend is. We had to park in front of a convenience store because it's downtown. Um, I'm trying to change his mood. I'm trying to tell him like, come on, like we can still go into this place because he's telling me at this point that he just wants to go back to the hotel because he's pissed off because how the way I'm telling him to drive right. Um, and I'm like, again, I'm trying to get him to tell him like, we can change the setting, we can change myself, so that way nobody gets hurt and nobody goes to jail and nobody gets a ticket because who the fuck wants that? Who? So I'm pissed off. Um,
You got it. They can't see
Mind
you.
y'all,
They can hear
again,
you.
this is in April 2024. We're
Karma, you cut out. Karma.
somebody in a long time. This is in 2024. It's fucking April, dude. Sorry, I'm fucking sorry. We get to the
Oh,
hotel.
don't be sorry.
I'm parking my car. He's in the passenger. Again, I'm driving. He gets out of the passenger and he's yelling at me, telling me to hurry the fuck up to get the fuck out the car. He opens my driver's side. He opens my door, and I'm putting my left arm up to tell him to hold the fuck on. He tells me to hurry the fuck up. He grabs my left arm and pulls me out of the fucking car, pushes me up against the car, and starts choking me and pushing his arm up into my chest. And this choking, it's not as pressure, so I could still breathe on this one. Um, he's looking at me as if I like it, as if I'm getting turned on. I push him off of me as hard as I can and tell him to get the fuck off me. And we walk through the room. Um, we walk to the room so I can get my stuff. He's behind me. Um, there's just certain stuff that happened again that I can't say, but it just wasn't cool. So I don't know. Can I even say the rest of the story?
You
I
can.
don't even
You can.
know.
You remember we have code words. You can, as long as you don't say the word I told you not to say. But Queen, you got this. You got this. Remember why we're doing this. You got this.
No means no, right?
Right.
So after that,
Remember why we're doing this. You got this. You got this.
so we go into the hotel. He grabs me behind my neck. He grabs me behind my neck, and like I said, in these parts, I can't say it. It just wasn't consensual. No means no, right?
Right.
So um, after that, he pushes off of me. Um, running.
Are you okay?
Up against my neck. And starts telling me that he doesn't want me to leave, that he loves me. And I'm telling him, you don't know what love is. I just want to go home. I just want to go home. Um, and this feels like it's going on forever. And mind you, again, you all know how big this person is. You all see his big muscles. Like, of everybody knows a man is more powerful than a woman, you know? So there's not much I could really do. I'm trying to push him off me, and I'm telling him I want to go home repeatedly. He turns around, starts grabbing all my stuff from my suitcase and starts throwing everything around. And I'm telling him to stop. I'm begging him to stop. I'm starting to grab my things, and he turns around and picks me up by my neck. I'm in the air, and he's strangling me in the fucking air. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. There's only so much that I could push. Take his finger off my neck a little bit just to tell him to please stop. Just to please stop. I just want to go home to my son. I can't fucking breathe. And he tells me he doesn't fucking care. He doesn't care. This man proceeds to strangle me and throws me on the bed and continues to choke me. And he has the bottle that he bought and pours it in my face at the same time while he's choking me. I can't fucking breathe. I can't breathe. I'm drowning. I'm choking. I can't breathe.
Take your time.
I don't give a fuck if none of you fucking believe me, because fuck this man. This motherfucker almost took me away from my fucking son, bro. I can give two fucks if anybody believes me, because I know what the fuck happened.
Yeah. So, yeah. Shit. I think when you hear that kind of stories, it's just heavy, innit? Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'll do a video on this maybe another day. But just some of the research I've been doing over the past few weeks and what I've seen physically with my own two eyes, specifically women, it's why I started talking about attachment styles a lot, right? Because one of the attachment styles, and by the way, this can happen to anybody. What happened to young ladies here can happen to anybody. But there's as I was kind of researching attachment styles, one of the attachment styles, fearful avoidance, and just based on kind of having a few conversations with some of the ladies in my past and some of the stories I've had, some of the clients I've spoken to, they're seeing fearful avoidant women specifically too seem to have a blinder when it comes to danger. And I want to do a specific video on this because I think it's very important too, right? Like, because when I was kind of researching it around it, if you ever read about fearful avoidance, who both have the avoidant and the anxious attachment styles together, they both want intimacy but push intimacy away. And I mention them on purpose because one of the things that's very difficult for fearful avoidance is assessing danger, right? Because they're born into chaos. They don't see those red flags. So they don't see and it's not all fearful avoidance, by the way. By the way, I'm not labeling every single fearful avoidant, but some fearful avoidance will end up actually missing red flags because they don't actually see the gravity of the situation. And because they also have been in situations where it has been abusive, whether it's physically, emotionally, sexually, whatever, right? There's been some major trauma as a child. When they see situations that can replicate that, they don't have the same reaction that other people might have. Like, oh my God, no, let me not go into that. No, let me not have that situation. No, let me not entertain that because it can go further. And so that's why when I started researching around attachment styles, I really jumped into fearful avoidance because I was like, this makes a lot of sense. Because I've actually have friends, and I mean I've actually have friends, that you ask them, why did you go there? And they're like, oh, I don't know, I just went. And I'm like, what do you mean you just, what's that? What do you mean you just went? But this is this is what people are dealing with, right? Because it's scary. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say exactly. Even leaving a drink around, they might not see. And so yeah, what she said. So now there's the last little bit of this. I'll play, and then I think I'll pray, and then we'll get off in it. You know what I mean?
April. So these women were claiming this way before he became famous. Y'all see at the top, it says April 22. We know he didn't do the show in April. He did the show about a month ago. But yet y'all still won't believe Karma, right? Keep looking at the receipts,
I'm
everybody.
sorry, what?
And Karma, if you want to add to it while it's going, you can, boo. As you can see, the plumber is admitting that he's drunk. So when she told y'all he was drinking, it sounds about accurate, doesn't it? These are receipts. That's what they're called. Keep reading, everybody. It gets better. Keep reading. This is your king, your Kang, the humanitarian out there changing lives and destroying them too. Keep reading, everybody. And Karma, I wanted to ask you, he did threaten you a lot with the police. Did you get arrested?
Yeah, he threatened me a lot with the police.
Did you get arrested?
Huh?
Did you get arrested?
No, he doesn't, because he fled.
Okay, and guys, on this text receipt right here, he threatened to post them having sex. So this is called revenge porn. But he's a great humanitarian. We all love him. We love him. We love him. He'll never do anything wrong to the community. Let me show that again. Miss Karma, is it okay if I show that again? Because, I mean, in those text receipts, he did threaten to post sexual things that you didn't know he was recording. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow. Let me show that again for people, because I know some people just got here. So again, I want to reiterate that back in April, she went to Facebook on the plumber before he became famous. And a lot of women, a lot of men said that these women are only clout chasing because he's famous.
So yeah, you know, a lot of this stuff, you know, as I said, I told you about the language he was using, about you can spot somebody who's in a cult because they're cultured. You can spot when somebody's in a cult because they're cultured. The language that they use, calling people simps, you know, calling women hoes and 304s, and you know, also, you know, the way that he spoke about other men and other women when they were against him, how quickly he turned against MTR as well. Because what people don't realize is, as much as I don't think MTR did, you know, I think MTR kind of, you know, held him accountable, but could have did a bit more. MTR was not with him. Like, I have to be fair to MTR. He wasn't with him. When MTR was like letting people know what he's doing is wrong. You know what I mean? And so what MTR, you know, so on the show with MTR, that's 5-hour clip, the way he spoke, you could see, yeah, someone said the tone, the way he said queen, the way he argued with the women, not argue. See, people can argue and you call them sassy. That's different. He wasn't sassy, right? It looked like he was willing to take one of the ladies out. You know what I mean? And so in that space, you know, we see how they're looking down and looking up at a woman and how dangerous that is, right? It's why, you know, on Ready to Love this season, I was so hard on a few people, right? I was hard on LaRon, even though I was very close to LaRon. I was very hard on LaRon. I said, you got to sort it out, because that insecurity can be very defecting and it can lead you to stupid ass stuff like this. Now, this is next level. But you don't need one moment in your life where you be stupid because of insecurity and it makes you do something stupid. All right? You know, and so at the end of the day, that's why I was saying you've got to be very, very careful, you know, in that sense, right? When it comes to especially men and their insecurities, why I was hard on them, is why I was also hard on, what's his name? Well, I forgot his name. The other gentleman that was also with LaRon's season, and I was hard on him too. It's why I'm hard a lot of times when I'm hard on the men when they show certain characteristics, because I know it's dangerous. It's like I know where it's gonna go because it bleeds into other areas of our lives, right? It's why I'm hard on people when I was hard on Zadia. It was hard when I was hard on Alexis, because there were Alonso's another person too. Yes, thank you, Jay. Right? When these people have these kind of defects about them, you have to be aware that they are dangerous people. You know, the Alonsos, there's someone said Chad even. You know, Chad was even another person who was moving very, very wild. He's more calculated and colder, right? You know, your Laurents and your Zadias and your you know, I even say Alexis in a little bit as well, because when these people have those hidden traits that come out, right, it's dangerous for people on the other end. Do you know what I'm saying to you? It's dangerous for people on the other end. You know, because people can physically get hurt by the behaviors that they're eliciting and exhibiting. Yes, Tony and Morgan as well. Exactly. Another couple that too as well. So it's not that we're trying to be, see, when people say that, for instance, when we're doing these panels and people feel like we're being too hard on them, it's like, yo, we're not even being hard. We're really trying to tell you to fix up, because you're in a dangerous place now. You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep doing what you're doing, like, because this is gonna go elsewhere. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is why I'm saying, like, watching him, the way he behaved, this Aaron the plumber guy, absolutely dangerous. You know what I mean? Absolutely dangerous. And you know, so at that point, I look at it and I go, okay, well, if that's the case, you know, then if you think that's normal, we gotta call you out and we gotta hold you accountable and say this is unacceptable. And this is why I'm saying that old boy needs to be not in the jail, underneath it. You know what I mean? Like, forget put him in it, put him underneath it. You know, and I don't mean that to say that he should be dead or anything. No, but more in the sense of throw the book at him, throw the freaking book at him. We're done. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no point going around it. So yeah, that for me, you know. For me is wild, and you know, it's problematic, you know, and you have to understand is that a lot of the times that, for instance, like red pill culture, right? A lot of men, yes, we need a space to vent, we need a space to be able to share our thoughts, we need a space where we can be ourselves. But there has to be a limit to how much we do this, right? So, for instance, when I've been in red pill circles, the problem I have with it is there's a lot of rage. And that's actually a part of the journey of a red pill person. Like, if you're really going for a red pill journey, the rage is the very first part. This is why I rock with MTR a little bit, because he actually tells you about the journey. And he will tell you at one point he was raging, yes, but he's kind of come to a different place. Now, does he always get it right? Yeah, we're going to see things differently. But at least he's gone through those stages. He's not at a rage stage. The rage stage is simply being always angry at women and being absolutely like you hate women because of what you feel, you know, what you feel about the opposite sex, and that's you know, you know, so that's a really important part. So that you know, that for me personally is a huge thing, and it's why I showed you on the other day that video about the guy who was talking about relationships and giving advice about how men should go hot and cold on purpose. They should manipulate women. I'm like, nah, you start doing that, you end up in a very dark place, right? You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. Like, so the men do need, we need, and this is why I didn't like Kevin Samuels either, because you see, and I'll say this carefully, when you have people like a certain person running for office, right? A certain person's running for presidency, who can incite men on January 6th to do what they did, but then throw his hands like this, like I never did nothing. It's the kind of dangers we have of people who lead people who don't have God leading them. You know what I'm saying to you? Who don't really have God leading them. You know what I mean? Who don't really have God leading them. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And so there's a need to also vet and check certain things. And you're right, yes, Kevin Samuels wasn't raging. No, he was not a red pill rager. What you have to understand is that KS was a cult leader, and cult leaders who can be malignant and dangerous at the same time through their manipulation. They don't need to necessarily be a person who rages, but they can be manipulative, and they can actually have ideologies that are very dangerous. You know, um, so yeah, so it just it's a big issue, but you know what I mean. So that's why that's why I talk about it, because a lot of people didn't follow Kevin Samuels' actual rhetoric. They followed what he might have said on the show, but what they didn't pay attention to is, you think because somebody doesn't say I hate women, that's how you judge them, or they don't show you a rage. Manipulation is also very dangerous, because other men were learning tactics that actually he was doing. For instance, if he talks to a woman and he downgrades her in public, right? What do you think that happens to other men? The Bible talks about this in King Xerxes and Vashti. The reason why the wise men told King Xerxes to get rid of Vashti is they said, hold on a minute, if she's a queen and she's doing this, other women watching it will do what she's doing. That tells you everything to know. Whatever the king is going to do, the people who are following the king will end up doing the same thing. So if Kevin Samuels is out here, right, talking to women in the wickedest way. Now, I don't care if you talk to men in the wickedest way. That's up to you. Those men can deal with that. But if you teach men how to talk to women in the wickedest way, other men learn that. Okay, so that's also really important. As well, because I think that is also important as well, to lead in that way. You know what I mean? Because it becomes manipulative and dangerous. And what you have to understand as well is that shame is not an emotion. And this is something I've been learning, and I'll keep it short because my time is going to go. Shame is not an emotion. This is why it's actually really powerful and really important not to diminish this. Shame is not an emotion, okay? It's not an emotion. So when people are being shamed, there's a behavior that actually comes from that. So if you look in the Garden of Eden, when they had shame, which is a good type of shame, because they had lied and they had cheated, they had done something they shouldn't have done, right? The first thing is people tend to hide away. When you shame people, you shun them, and then you isolate them. And when you isolate people, they're in danger. You know what I mean? So it's not to me to say that we can't have great male leaders. No, we should have great male leaders who speak about relationships and marriage and speak it in a responsible manner. I want to see that. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And so that's always important. So it's just a highlight situation, right? And see, and you know what's interesting? So look, I before I jump down Gleck Services throat, I want to be able to understand your perspective. So Gleck Services, I want to know what your beef is, because my beef isn't with men alone. My beef is with anybody who's not going to be necessarily promoting good things. But now you are going down the road and you're actually proving my actual point, that you are going down this narrative and you have this consistent negative narrative. And oftentimes this comes from a place of childhood trauma, that a lot of times that young boys have what we call splitting. Okay, all right, they split. Psychologically, what happens is this, right? So if you've ever seen that young boys, what happens is that they get angry at their mother, but their father was never around. This is an idea of what we call splitting. They cause in the mind of a child, they create a good and a bad, right? So what can happen is the father can never be involved in a situation, never be around, right? And maybe once in a while, the father might send a gift or be around. And so the child goes, the father's so amazing, I'd want to be with the father. And then they condemn the mother. But the mother's the one that stuck around. Now, I'm not saying that every mother's perfect. There are some mothers, and by the way, there's a lot of work that I'm doing, just saying. There's a lot of work that I'm doing that, mothers, you got some work to do, because you are just like the fathers, you're causing a lot of issues. But the reality of the situation is that a lot of young boys, what can end up happening, and young girls, but I'm just saying young boys because he's a gentleman himself, is that they actually have a split. They do splitting, so they have two parents, even though one of the parents has never been around. They don't make that parent a bad parent, and the reason why is because the child internalizes what's happening, and the child doesn't want to make its sole parent caregiver the bad guy, because it needs the parent, and so when you see that kind of baby, it's quite interesting. Like what we're seeing with Gleck right now, I think it proves our point about some people just their focus is so much on hating, on disliking women that they missed it. What has women being virgins got anything to do with what we've been talking about? This is what I'm trying to say to you. It's like they completely go down a narrative because remember, when people are in cults, they are cultured and they are cultivated. They're not free to think. So they just go down a particular parameter, a bit like, if you ever spoke to a Jehovah's Witness or a Mormon or spoke to a Muslim, if you ever speak to them and you know your Bible, you'll realize that when you end up speaking to them, they always have the same parameter. They take you around the same route and the same track over and over and over again. That's how you know it's a cult, because they come with the same answer over again. And then as soon as you break the mold, unless it's somebody who has actually fully studied their own religion, their own faith, they get jumbled, because they've been given a track and they've been given cultured and cultivation within their faith. But when you're somebody who actually has studied your faith and has a revelation, you know not to go around in circles, and you know not to try and box certain things in. And so you don't have the same kind of thought process. You're able to extend yourself. You're able to have a broader spectrum of conversation. You don't just go and blame one person. You have some balance in your life. And I'm sorry to say, Greg, we didn't say anything about virgin. I don't know how virgins got into the conversation. That's why I'm wondering what's happening with you. And I've missed it. But I just wanted to explain the psychology a little bit behind the situation, because I don't know if you were really listening to the video. Maybe you came at the very end. Maybe you kind of missed it. I don't know. But I want to let you know that, brother, we can't defend this one. Okay? We can't defend this one. Okay? We can't defend this one, Gleck. We can't. Okay? We can't defend this one. Okay? All right? So whether your nieces are 14 or not, I have no problem, okay? All right? I have no problem if your nieces are 14. They can be 16. They can be 8. My problem at the moment is that I don't understand, I don't understand why you went down the virgin route. I don't get it, right? But it sounds very much like Red Pill would normally do, because they're always talking about the sexual status of women and not realizing that women are interacting with men. Do you know what I'm saying to you, right? What part of this situation is it that we are talking about women and their promiscuity, or whether they are sexually promiscuous? Nothing really. They've been abused. We're calling out the abuse of this individual person, and it has nothing to do with them just being virgins. That will not solve anybody's issue. Abuse is abuse. Okay? Abuse is abuse. And it doesn't have to be anything sexual. Abuse is abuse. And the fact that you went down the sexual route is why I said that you're in a cult. I'm sorry to say it. Because you went down that lane where cultish people tend to do, which is you only have one track mindset, and I know where you're coming from because you're already speaking the language. If it was really about you speaking about really helping, really trying to actually understand, really trying to get to a depth of place, you wouldn't have gone down the cult route. Right? And then you drop the whole, my sisters off, I got nieces. You did what white people do with racism. I got black friends. That's when you know that they're locked in a cult, right? And they're locked in a paradox of thought process. When they tell you, what, I got black people as my friends. You know, I know some black people, so I can't be racist. It's like, so I'm gonna leave it there. You know what I mean? I think we've touched it enough. You know what I mean? I think it's it. And see, I want any man who's watching this as well, here's a proof of what I'm talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about virgins, and we're talking about what do we talk about when women say men are broke? What does that got to do with this conversation? This is exactly what I mean by let's pay attention. Ladies, if you're watching this, I want you to pay attention. When a man goes around the track of a mindset, there are certain buzzwords they start using. Cancel them with all severity. Cancel them immediately. Yeah? I don't want you even to play with this one now. I'm happy to call it out calmly and to say this. Listen, if you're a woman out here, I want you to pay attention to what Gleck Service has done. Since he's come in, he's not really watched the video. He doesn't really care. All he cares about is getting his viewpoint across about how men are disenfranchised. And yet the video has got nothing to do with men being disenfranchised, but us as men being abusers in the situation. But even so, he can't see any other point of view. You know why? Because it's just like when white people are racist, they can't see any other point of view apart from white people. And so it's the same kind of mindset. You get locked in. No, you don't have to block him, Elsie. Don't worry, don't block him. Let him stay. I just want the women to understand that this is the kind of person when you hear them speak like this, counsel them. Do not entertain them. Don't have a conversation with them. Do not date them. They are undateable. I won't play with you. You know what I mean? I don't want to play with you. Do not date this type of thing. When they start saying simp, when they start saying, when they start talking about how men are always disenfranchised, when they're always talking about how women are always this, women are always that, you got to leave them alone. They're dangerous. Okay? All right? They're dangerous. No, leave him there. Don't block him. It's a good opportunity to actually be able to see what that kind of person looks like. You know what I'm saying to you? It's a good opportunity to see. The more he talks, the more you're going to have understanding of how these people operate. I want women to see this. This is what we have to dodge. Okay? All right. Let's pray and then we got to get out of here. So, and we can get on with the day as well. All right? Okay. Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus, God. We just want to pray that, Lord, right now. This is a very heavy subject, a very difficult subject as well, Lord, because your daughters have been violated, Lord. Their boundaries have been crossed, and their sovereignty has been reduced. And Father, we just want to pray that, Lord, the Bible says that your spirit is a counselor. I pray that, Lord, that your hand will be upon them and that you will offer them peace and comfort that surpasses all. I pray that, Lord Almighty God, that you will encourage them, oh God, to seek your face and to seek your love and seek your comfort. I pray, oh God, that, Lord, that justice will prevail here in this situation. The crimes are heinous, oh God. And so, Father, the Bible says vengeance is the Lord. But there is the law of action and consequences, Lord. And so I do pray that, Lord, that the justice will be done, because he's had on many occasions, Lord, the opportunity to do this to people. And so I pray that, Lord, so that he doesn't do this to anybody else, I just pray that, Lord, justice will be done, justice will be prevailed. And the evidence that has been spoken of him, Lord, will be able to be enough to do that with him as well. We don't wish for anything for him to happen to him badly, to die or anything like that, no. But we do wish for your mercy and your grace. But we wish also, Lord, that the victims who are at this point, Lord, in the season, Lord, they will have your comfort, your love, and have your support. That, Lord, that let their hearts be cushioned with your spirit. And we pray, Almighty God, that your word will be sweet as honey unto them. And that, Lord, that you, in the season of difficulty, Lord, that you'll journey with them along the path in the name of Jesus. We just pray that, Lord, that you're going to always be present and you'll always be the Almighty God in their lives as well. May they be able to lean upon you, and may they able to also, Lord, be able to surrender to you as well. And the Bible says we should commit our ways unto the Lord and he shall act. And so I pray, Lord, you're not only just a God of love, but a one of vengeance. And I pray that, Lord, that you will have your way in this scenario, and our good sisters, oh God, will have peace. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Okay, yes, amen. All right. Yeah, so it's not easy out here, but yeah. Yeah, so we'll move on, you know what I mean? But anyway, listen, guys, I'm gonna be out. We'll be back maybe a little bit later on for myself and Jay. I say Jay, but my boy Jay. And we'll be talking about some relationship stuff a little bit later. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys. Saluted.